Hello, happy senior project tutorial. Yay. So today we're going to be talking about our annotated research stuff. I've got our page 2 out in front of us, and I want you to just email me questions, send me questions if you don't understand exactly what we're doing, but we've really tried to spell it out for you in the packet. I'm just going to jump right in. If you look at page 2, your final research project checklist, it says that, and remember our dates have changed. So the new due date for this is Thursday, April 2nd and Thursday, April 16th. But I'm not going to talk about the 16th yet. I'm only going to talk about what's going on in the 2nd, which is our annotated sources. Okay, so let's look at our annotated sources. Students will bring 4 annotated sources to class. I wish we're not bringing them to class, but you need to find 4 sources that you can annotate, that you can actually physically write on. And I need you to take a screenshot, a picture of those, and send them to me on Remind, upload them to Canvas, however you want to do it, so I can see that you've actually been annotating. What does annotating mean, Mama Shro? I don't get it. That's why I'm here. I'm so glad you guys asked me these questions. It makes me feel valuable. So specifically, as it is mentioned here, annotated means highlight sections with reference to which Roman numeral the material coincides with on the general criteria. Roman numerals, Mama Shro, what exactly are you talking about? Oh, I'm so glad you asked me these Roman numerals. Remember all of that information, the organization and criteria that's found on page 4? So you are going to pull out a website. And on this website about nursing, it's going to have information about the history of nursing. So you are going to copy that, take a screenshot of it, whatever. You're going to annotate on it. If you've copied and pasted it into Microsoft Word, you can use the editing format, whatever you want to do, and you are going to physically annotate it. You're physically going to take notes on it. And then next to it, you are going to put a Roman numeral 1, because guess what? That's about your history of your profession. That tells us about the history of nursing. So you will know as you're going through and organizing your research to write your paper, you might say, oh my gosh, I don't have anything about the history of nursing. You flip through your notes and you go, whoa, there's a Roman numeral 1. So bam, genius. I definitely know about the history of nursing because it's just listed right there. You will also need to do a works cited page, ladies and gentlemen. For any help with your works cited page, I, as well as other English teachers that I've spoken to, I recommend easybib.com. You can just type in your information there and it will automatically format your bibliography for you, okay? There are some mistakes with the EasyBib, but right now, you know what? We are having an out-of-body experience with this quarantine. So there you go. What kind of information should you be looking for? Go back to your organization. Remember, we're looking for the history of your profession of nursing. We are looking for the influential person who has influenced, once again, as an example, nursing. Florence Nightingale would be a perfect example to use. Roman numeral 3, defining the profession. What do nurses do? And it gives you all the subcategories under there. And then number 5, for training and education. What do you need to do training-wise and all these subcategories? Number 5, training and education that you plan on. I already done that one. This is rough. I miss you guys. I miss our classroom. Advancement opportunities and outlook for employment. And it talks about all the subcategories there that you can utilize, okay? So once you find this research, once you highlight everything, you need to make sure that you look at page 5, or if you prefer the format of page 7, page 5 has all the same information as page 7, and it's just a grid, and it tells you what for your sources you need to look for. Research, it says 5 sources. Mama Shro, you just said 4 sources. I did, because the 5th source will be your interview, ladies and gentlemen, which you're still required to do. And I'm going to talk about that in a different video. I'm just talking about your annotations right now. Okay, so don't stress. We'll get there. Everything's going to happen. You're going to graduate, my darlings. We just have to do the work. And I know it's a lot harder than we thought, but we're going to get it done. And we're going to be successful, and we're going to look back on this and we're going to go, remember that time I was a senior and I was quarantined and Mama Shro forced us to watch all of her lectures on Frankenstein and the senior project? And we'll come back to the 10-year reunion and we'll all laugh and we'll make fun of all the silly things that we had to do and how grateful we were that we listened and we self-isolated and self-distanced and social distanced and all the other distancing we're supposed to do on our coronacation. So anyway, so here we have our 4 to 8. What needs to be in our sources, or why should I look at these sources? Now, one of the things you have to recognize is as you're annotating, you need to find quotations or paraphrases that you can utilize in the body of your sentences. You will need 4 to 8 direct quotes, including 1 to 2 long quotes, and a minimum of 4 paraphrases, okay? I will actually be linking something to help you with your quotes and how to format quotes and your paraphrases. With your sources, this is very important. You cannot use encyclopedias. You cannot use Wikipedias. You cannot use blogs. Encyclopedias are written at a very low level, so we don't want you to use encyclopedias. Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Wikipedia is a very fluid website. People could go on and change things all the time. It's not, a lot of it is fact-based, but it's not guaranteed to be fact-based and written by professionals and in that field, experts in that field, I should say. And blogs, I don't want blogs. We don't want blogs because once again, those are just people's opinions. So you need to find more concrete, expert-based information, okay? All sources must be printed out and annotated. That's what it says there. I recognize that that's not possible for everybody. So once again, if you would just copy and paste it, if you can't print it off and physically annotate your sources, just highlight it and paste it into a Word document and go through and use the editing tool and edit and make notes on it yourself. And if you're like, Shro, I've never used the editing tool, you can copy all of the text into a Word document, go in and use the highlighter, and then use a different font to make notations. And then just explain to me when you email me the pictures that you've taken or the documents themselves, you can just tell me, Mama Shro, my font is this, it's different. Or my annotations are highlighted in green, where what I just highlighted, I highlighted it in yellow. Okay, does that make sense? Does that help? I hope so. I really hope it does. So just as a refresher, if your topic is nursing, you are looking for 4 different, and if your topic is anything else, but just nursing as an example, you are looking for 4 different sources. So it can be a book, it can be a magazine, it can be an internet source, it could be a documentary. And you might say, Mama Shro, can't go to the library. How am I supposed to get these? Well, guess what, my precious, precious, precious ones? Libraries are online and you can research online, and you might say, well, I found this on this website, the timemagazine.com website. Well, guess what? That's not an internet source. That is actually a magazine source, because we don't want all web sources. You can't have all websites. And remember, if it is a magazine that is printed online, it's still a magazine. Even if it's on timemagazine.com or whatever, if it's CNN.com and you go on and you watch a news clip that was from 3 nights ago on the news talking about nursing and how nurses are facing this very detrimental thing right now to their health, because if you look at it, future trends that could affect the profession. If you're going into nursing, see future trends that could affect this profession. That's happening right now. The coronavirus, the epidemic, the pandemic, that's happening right now. That is affecting the profession of nursing. So you can definitely mention that and use an updated current article. But if you are watching a news broadcast about nursing, and you find it on the MSNBC website, it's not a web source. It's actually a news source. So you would cite it as such, and you'd say, Mama Shro, I don't know how to cite all this stuff. Guess what? Heaven bless Easy Bib. And I will, please excuse the rudimentary way that I'm going to do this right now. I will post something better in a moment. But you just go to easybib.com Just type in EasyBib, EASYBIB.com. Go to easybib.com and it will show you. It will come up with it'll have all these things listed. Like if you got it out of an anthology and you click on anthology and it tells you what to enter in and you enter that in and it formats your bibliography for you, your works cited for you. Whoa, isn't that just amazing? So precious ones, I'm going to go ahead and close now. I've already taken 10 minutes of your time. If you have any questions, please send them to me on Remind because then I can answer. And if you have a question, then I'm sure somebody else has a question and I can just shoot that question out with that answer to everybody else so everyone understands. Okay? Love you guys. Miss you. Hoping once again that this ends soon so we can continue being the class of 2020 where our vision is clear. Okay? Love you guys so much. Bye.